I joined my husband, his boyfriend, and my girlfriend for a group honeymoon, but my husband and his boyfriend prioritized themselves. We felt excluded, my girlfriend and I left early, causing tension. I, 29F, recently married my husband, 30M. We're part of a polycule. My husband and I have been together for 7 years, and he's been with his boyfriend, 33M, for the last 3. My girlfriend, 27F, and I have been together for 2 years. She and my husband are very close, more so in a platonic way, and she and his boyfriend are casually friendly, but not particularly close. Now, here's the part that matters: my husband and his boyfriend go way back. They've been best friends since childhood, grew up together, and had what you might call an almost relationship in their early 20s. It didn't work out back then due to timing and different goals, but they remained close. When they reconnected later, after my husband and I had already been together for a while, it evolved into a romantic relationship again. I've always respected that bond and accepted that their connection predates mine with my husband. So when we got married, we thought a group honeymoon made sense, a 3-week trip with all 4 of us. Not as a honeymoon with some tag-along or anything like that, but as a way to celebrate our whole web of love. We rented a villa with 4 rooms, planned a mix of group activities, alone time, and free days, and talked beforehand about how this wasn't just our moment, but one to honor our broader connection. But almost right away, it became clear that my husband and his boyfriend saw this trip differently. They were out the door most mornings without a word, going off for hours wine tasting, kayaking, or taking long walks through town without checking in or inviting us. Once, they even went to a cooking class all 4 of us had expressed interest in and only told us about it afterward. Their explanation was that they didn't want to miss the registration window and that we should have been awake if we wanted to join. After a while, it stopped feeling like miscommunication and started feeling like quiet prioritization, that they were defaulting to each other and everything else was optional. My girlfriend and I are obviously very close, so we made the best of it. We did our own excursions, wandered the markets, and went out to eat at fancy restaurants. But it started feeling less like a shared celebration and more like we'd gotten a pity invite to their vacation. It also just didn't feel good doing that on our own when we were supposed to be sharing this experience. Then the jokes started. His boyfriend laughed but called it our first real honeymoon, and my husband responded, "We've waited long enough, haven't we?" That hit harder than I expected. Not because I'm jealous of their connection, but because I suddenly realized this trip was not about what we'd said it would be. When I brought it up gently, my husband waved it off, saying I was overanalyzing everything and that we've all got our own routines. When I pushed a little more, he said, "You and, girlfriend, have been vibing nonstop. Can't we do the same?" Which felt like a deflection more than a genuine reply. The most frustrating part? They weren't being cruel, just incredibly self-involved. They weren't making digs or having dramatic fights with us. They were just repeatedly acting as though their bond was the emotional center of the trip, and the rest of us could orbit around that as needed.